Yo, welcome to Pitch Report. I'm Mario.
And Mr. Leo.
Mr. Leo, how are you doing today?
I am doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Had a nice weekend. Not something San Diego sports teams can say, but back in LA, I was in San Diego for the weekend. What about you?
Nothing much. We visited some friends, and like you said, San Diego teams didn't have a super great weekend. But other than that, I guess can't complain. I guess.
Yeah, and for those wondering, Amilcar is back from Japan, but he's just getting over his jet lag. So he will be with us very soon. Not to say that we are very, very happy to still have Mr. Leo. He did come back. We didn't scare him away. So thanks for joining us again.
I became the starter after one appearance.
Yep.
You know?
Amilcar, yeah, you're coming back to the bench, Amilcar.
I think Amilcar is still upset about the loss against Arsenal. I mean, I am too, but I'm showing face, for my team.
Exactly. Brave face for his team. And yeah, because you're pretty confident going into the match. I'm excited to get into respectfully, of course. I'm excited to get into the 4 matches we had last week. But before that, let's maybe get to some less exciting news. We're going to start with MLS. San Diego FC versus Charlotte FC. They lost 3-0. It's our third ever loss.
Cooked.
Yeah. Cooked. Yeah. Very good way to put it, honestly.
Just cooked.
Yeah. We had the newest team in the West versus the newest team in the East. And in this case, I guess the East Coast was the best coast. But yeah, what were your thoughts, Leo? Sorry, Mr. Leo.
Yeah, get it right. Cassandra would be very upset.
Yeah.
It was such a bad performance, dude. Like, I got to watch a little bit of it and then finished up some of the highlights, and you could just tell like it was a very different vibe, or like you could tell they were not as confident playing. Like it seemed like a new team, if that makes sense. Also, I think they changed up their formation and some of their starters, which, I mean, I'm not a manager, not even close, but like I thought it was a strange thing to do. Like when you bench De La Torre or Godoy and a couple other guys.
Yeah, I agree. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
No, yeah, I agree. I thought that was strange because usually we've been playing like a 4-4-2, which is what Charlotte ended up playing. And then we went with a 4-3-1-2, and I think you were getting to the De La Torre point. Maybe there's something we don't know about. Maybe there was some, I don't know, sometimes players during the week, they were not feeling great or something. So maybe there was something.
Yeah, there must have been something we don't know, or maybe he was trying to rest them, which I don't see why. I mean, I get that they need the rest, but they're not playing multiple games a week, right now at least. And then I don't know, I just thought it was strange to bench such great players against a very good Charlotte team. Clearly they showed it, right?
Oh yeah, very much so. And I completely agree. And I haven't said it previously in the podcast, but probably one of my favorite players to watch has been Luca De La Torre. I really like his ball control. I like the way he passes the ball. He's just really fun to watch, in my opinion. And it's someone I'm just rooting for, hoping they can get called up for the World Cup next year for Team USA, especially because he's a local kid. But yeah, to the Charlotte FC players, they were playing how I usually think we look when we're playing against other teams. So
yeah, they were very much in control. Like, they had the ball a lot. They were creating a lot. And San Diego FC just seemed like pushed back. They shouldn't have been surprised that Charlotte was playing as well as they were, just because you knew coming into this match that they were a great team. I think they were first in their conference, or at least in the first two places. But tough loss. The positive part is that we're still only 3 points behind, or 2 points behind second place in our conference, and I think 6 behind first. So we still have a pretty good chance at moving on, and still we're only about halfway through the season. So. But tough loss away. Two losses on the road.
Yeah, and that actually kind of the two losses in a row brings up a few San Diego firsts that we've been tracking. Unfortunately, none of them are very positive, but we had our first consecutive losses, both on the road. We also had our first red card, kind of. Andres Reyes, he had a double yellow. Originally a red card, but then after review, a yellow, but it was still,
Yeah,
result was a red card.
that was like a weird thing to like rescind. Like, oh, like red card's rescinded, but he gets a second yellow, but still
Yeah,
has a red card. It's like you should have just probably left it, but whatever. Same
and then
result.
the replay when the ref gave his like announcement, it almost sounded like he was like super hyped, like he was like
Yeah.
saying it to the fans, like yes, he's still out. Yeah,
I think
it just
it's so loud there, I think, that like he feels like he has to like probably talk really loud. But I thought the same thing when I watched that. I was like, why is this guy yelling? And I was like, he's a little too excited over sending somebody
yeah.
off.
No, I think you're totally right. He probably felt like he had to yell because it was so loud in there, but yeah, just to us at least on like TV, it seemed like he was just like with the like Charlotte FC fans.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, so I'm
They're
glad
gonna make
it was
some
both of
memes of
us.
him like they do with the referees for Barca, where they're celebrating with them or wearing the same jersey.
Hey, you know it. We must have a very specific algorithms on Instagram because I see like the same thing but for Real Madrid
That's
dress.
so funny,
So
dude. Have you seen
I'll
like
see.
the ones where they're like running with the trophy, celebrating with the players? Like it's
Dude,
hilarious.
I I have not seen those, at least not Barcelona equivalents, but I've seen like the Real Madrid version of that, where like something stupid happens and they're like penalty for Real Madrid, and
Oh,
like
dude, that's like the America and Cruz Azul one.
yeah, oh
Yeah,
yeah, I've seen it for America too. That's funny. So we're both seeing it for like our like opposition, I
opposites.
guess.
Yeah, but yeah,
Yeah,
dude, I don't think there's much to say. Like two losses to like on the road. Unfortunately, this one we weren't even close to like making a comeback. Like it just the team looked weak. I'm not really sure again like what was going on with the formation uh and having other guys start, especially like such an important game where you probably want to show off or like just at least compete.
yeah,
Be a little bit more competitive.
I agree. And we talked about last week even how San Diego C has seemed a little bit like or two dimensional on their like approach to play. They don't really seem to have a lot of like ways of playing. So I don't know if this was like Mickey Varas's like solution to that, maybe trying to show us a little bit something a little bit different. It felt like Charlotte FC was kind of like the equivalent of like San Diego C in the West Coast, but in the East Coast. Not just only the fact that it's like the newest team from like the Eastern Conference, but also like their environment. It was like a really loud stadium. The fans were
Uh,
really engaged, which is kind of what I imagine it feels like for other teams when they come to play here. I even saw an interesting statistic that it's the same owner for Charlotte FC and the Panthers, the NFL team.
oh, okay.
And last year, the owner for both of these teams made more money with Charlotte FC than he did with the Panthers. And
Wow.
and Charlotte FC has been a very good team, basically since they started, and Panthers have not been good for a while. So
No.
I guess that kind of makes sense. And he sells more tickets for the Charlotte FC game because they do play in the same stadium. So I don't know. So it might have not been more money, but he sold more tickets for the Charlotte FC games than for the Panthers. So I guess the point I'm just trying to make, I think the fan base is very excited and they have a very exciting team right now. Wilfred Zaha, who I'm very
That's
used to like seeing him
right.
like tear it up at Crystal Palace. He still looked like really really good. He didn't score this game, but he I don't know. I feel like you can. I'm probably just biased, but I feel like the teams or the players have played in Europe. You can kind of see why a lot of the time.
100%.
Like I
Yeah.
see it with Luca de la Torre, like he has just a little bit more refinement to him. I see it with Chucky Lozano. Zaha, I saw it, and he's actually younger than I thought. He's 32, Wilfred Zaha, because I thought he was maybe like later in his career, maybe 35, 36, but he's surprisingly a lot younger than I thought. So it'd be interesting if we see him at the World Cup with Ivory Coast.
Yeah, I didn't know he was that young. Like he's a lot younger than I thought for sure. I thought he was like more. I guess you could call it like a retirement league, but it's really not seeming that way
Yeah,
anymore. It's been a long time since it seemed like that type of like a retirement league. But yeah, that was pretty like I didn't even know he had gone to Orlando until like a couple weeks ago, where I saw a picture of him like celebrating in the stands with the fans after scoring one of his first goals. I was like, when did this guy get over here? Like, but yeah, like you can definitely tell the difference between somebody who's like played in Europe or has like had that type of career like elsewhere compared to like I mean like even like not just MLS but like going to like a Mexican league or Brazilian or one of these other lower tier leagues. You could definitely tell like how refined and how like intelligent some of these players really
yeah,
truly
yeah.
are, you know.
Yeah, the intelligence makes me think of like the Lautaro Martinez goal, the leg one, just like that one touch, like really quick ball, like that he ended up scoring. I feel like we don't see quite as much of that. It's still really exciting soccer that we're seeing, but it's
It's
not that
getting
same.
there.
Like, yeah, it's getting
It's
there. That's a good.
there's like you could definitely see like it's gotten a lot better. And I don't know if you watched Mexican League recently, but they've been scoring some insane goals too. Like where I'm like, dude,
I have
that's
not.
like a
No,
Premier League like highlight type goal. Like I don't know, I've seen some of like even Atlas like lately, like they're memeing them because like when everybody's watching like during the actual season, they're not doing anything, and then when it comes towards the end of the season, no one's paying attention to them because they're not gonna make it through. Like they're scoring insane goals, but um, yeah, we'll see what happens with San Diego FC. They're coming back home, so hopefully that kind of lights a fire under their butt and kind of makes them feel a little bit more comfortable. Obviously, being the home team.
yeah, hopefully, and we talked about it going into like this stretch where they're playing like these two teams were like more like playoff caliber teams based on like the current standings, and that's the only thing I'm concerned about. The more playoff caliber teams, we haven't necessarily gotten good results so far. Like as of now, looking at like the current standings, we haven't beat any of the playoff caliber teams we played. So that's the only thing that worries me. That maybe we just had like an easier earlier part of the schedule. Uh, but maybe we're just also like not as good on the road. You know, we've been very good at home for the most part. We're still undefeated. We're going to get Real Salt Lake, which will be our first time getting a second look at a team since we played them at Salt Lake a few weeks ago. So yeah, hopefully it's just something that we can turn around, especially at home, which seems to be a thing for San Diego teams, at least the Padres as well. They have been
Yeah,
phenomenal at home, but what the early season has shown is like the road's been a little bit more challenging. They ended up losing to the Tigers today. They lost the
that's
series
right.
to the Astros. So who knows? Maybe we're just like
Or maybe just
much better.
home type teams, you know, because
Yeah.
it's definitely a different atmosphere. They probably obviously I'm sure they could tell, but yeah, hopefully getting that second look. I mean, I feel like they have a good upper hand. Like they've already beaten them once this season, and then now they're coming home and being somewhere a lot more comfortable, you know.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'd be excited to get a second look at Diego Luna because he was pretty exciting even during the Nations League when he played for Team USA.
I can't believe you're cheering for the opposition here.
No, I'm not. I just thought he actually was pretty good, and like I hadn't really seen him before, and I mentioned it in the episode when we covered Salt Lake. I was surprised at how good he was because he does not look athletic. So that was
Yeah,
just
I
that was
agree.
just kind
No, I
of
remember you
funny.
saying that. I was like, that is so true. Like, he just looks like a dude. You know,
Yeah,
just it's so funny. There's like so many players that you just see there. Like, they look, they do not look like athletes, and they're just they're superstars. You know?
yeah, and it's a little more rare in soccer. I feel like because usually like just the amount of running, like you have like a certain type of like physique for the most part. I think like baseball is where you can get away with it a little bit more.
Hmm.
You might be a pitcher. You're like a bigger guy. Like what's his name? Like Bartolo Colon. They called him like Big Sexy.
Oh
Like
yeah.
a bigger
Well,
guy.
then you
Like
have like
which
Big Papi, just these
Big Papi.
big
Yeah,
ass dudes. You know? Uh, but
exactly.
like the recent one that was cracking me up, I don't know if you saw, but Pete Alonso hit a three base hit, and they have a camera angle of him running from second to third, and it is the most unathletic running you've ever seen. It like I was like, this guy makes millions a year running like that, dude. I could do that, dude.
Hey, yeah, he's a pretty good player too.
He is.
Who actually
He's a great
speaks pretty
hitter.
good Spanish. He's been learning like his Spanish is actually pretty good. He's been trying to
Oh,
like
really?
learn it to like talk to his players more. So honestly,
That's cool.
respect to Pete Alonso.
Pete Alonso.
All right, Leo, are you doing all right? Because we're going to move on to the next segment,
Can we skip it?
Champions League. I mean, Real Madrid kind of did.
Uh, I don't think none of Real Madrid showed up to the Champions League
Yeah,
this year, actually. But I
I mean,
guess let's. Gosh, dude, I
they,
just can't. I definitely went in a lot more confident. But did you want to start with maybe? Did you want to start with your team?
yeah, all right. We'll start with my team. I think there was a few good things, but not as many as I was actually hoping. So Barcelona goes through on a loss, 3-1 against Dortmund. It was actually the first time Dortmund ever beat Barcelona.
Wow,
Um,
did not know that.
and yeah, they never beat them before. They'd drawn in the past, but it was the first time they beat them. And I think that was one of the things. It kind of showed like a what is it, like a chunk in their armor. I know I didn't get that metaphor right, but it kind of Barcelona had been very dominant up until this point, so it was just kind of showed that they're beatable. Not that they're beatable in the sense that they really hadn't been beat in Champions League.
Yeah, I
So
think that was their actual first loss of 2025, actually,
you're right. Yeah,
against
actually,
Dortmund. Which honestly, they made me like, what would you call it? Like eat my words or swallow my words. Like where I was like, oh, dude, this thing is done. And
yeah,
for them to make a comeback, and literally, Barca didn't even score a goal. If you think about it, Dortmund
yeah.
scored all
No, they
four.
no
You know,
exactly. Yeah.
but
So they could have tied it if you think about it. The
yeah,
four goals,
yeah, because that
unfortunately,
one
one of
goal
them.
like probably like killed the momentum and some of the morale. Like when they were playing
Absolutely.
very well. Like honestly, Dortmund played a very good match against Barca. Like Barca could not create or do anything. And then I'm pretty sure I'm saying this wrong, but Guirassy, the
Yeah.
striker for Dortmund, like he had been kind of gone for a couple matches as far as like he wasn't performing like he was in the Bundesliga because he's had a really great season, and then all of a sudden like just a hat trick, you know?
Yeah. And he got man of the match for that game, and like you could see him, he
Oh
looked sad in the face, but
yeah,
he's like holding the trophy. It reminded me of like it's on the Champions League Instagram page. We'll post it along with the story with like when we post our episode. Uh, but it reminded me of like little kids that like lose their championship or something, and they're like holding the trophy. Like they get like
yeah.
second place, but have like the trophy. It
Dude,
was
I felt so bummed seeing that picture. It definitely felt like that, like exactly what you're explaining, where like you're almost just like receiving a trophy for like what? Like it's great that I got man of the match, but we couldn't move on. It's like a participation trophy. It's like thanks, I guess.
Yeah, and something about his face was just kind of endearing to me. I don't know, but
Yeah,
at least happy for him. And I did hear it was a commentator during the Nations League actually. He was talking about Panama that lost the game, and he was talking about it was Osvaldo Sanchez actually, and I forget who the other commentator was, but they were kind of talking about how in the moment it sucks, like obviously like losing like a final or like these tournaments, but like it's still like a huge accomplishment making it to that point, and in a way to just try to like live the moment, and it'll one day make a big like it'll be a nice story to like tell grandkids. It'll be like just a nice memory, like when you're 50, 60 years old and looking back into your career, it'll be just nice to remember, hey, like this is what I was able to do in
yeah.
such a big stage.
Well, especially
So
like no one just scores a hat trick against Barcelona in the Champions League, right?
exactly,
So
yeah, and
like
that's what I
So I feel
Yeah,
like
you're right on.
yeah, so I feel like that like right now it's probably just bittersweet. Like it's cool that I scored a hat trick, especially like such a great like a really good team this year, you know. But like yeah, eventually it'll probably be a little bit sweeter than just a shitty memory. But yeah,
Yeah, so Guirassy, probably not listening to this, but you won in our book.
definitely man of the
um,
match on that game.
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I was a little concerned for the match, like especially like you nailed it right on the head when you said like the own goal was a momentum killer. But before that, it was 2-0 when before the own goal. So they were really like I was starting to worry. I was like, this has happened to Barcelona before that they lose a big lead like this in the Champions League. They did it to Liverpool like five
Yeah,
years ago, 6 years ago now.
and Roma.
So oh, Roma as well. Yeah, so it it wouldn't have been the first time. So I was definitely getting a little bit nervous after the own goal. I just felt like okay, we're gonna go through, but it's just didn't. I feel like they're not going through as dominant as they have, which we kind of already
Yeah,
mentioned.
the
But
second leg
that,
was definitely not as dominant. I totally agree. Not at
yeah,
least to
so
what we're used to seeing this season from Barca, where they're scoring 3 or 4 goals against each opponent, or like conceding very little goals. Because I think this might be actually well against Celta they conceded 3 also, but
yeah,
I
oh
think
yeah,
it was the first time I saw them concede these many goals this season. I could totally be wrong, but
no, I don't think I've seen them concede that many either. Actually,
yeah. But
yeah,
Dortmund, like they played so well. I felt like I was pretty bummed that they lost or that they weren't able to move on to the next phase. Um,
yeah,
and I don't know if you saw the statistics when I was watching like the game. Like Dortmund had 10 shots on target or something like that, and Barca had 0 or 1. I was like, holy crap, dude! Like they're really making a push to like tie this match up, you know?
yeah. I'm looking at the final stats. I actually got two, and I'm curious if one of them was the own goal.
Honestly, possibly, but
Yeah,
who knows? But like, I don't know if you have the stats pulled up. Like, I don't know what the final was for Dortmund as far as shots on
they had
goal.
18 shots, 11 on target.
That's
So yeah,
insane.
they were
Dominant.
pretty accurate. And I guess it kind of speaks to like the game script going into it. You go in with 4-0 lead. Your mentality might be different than you're going in with like a 4-0 lead where we need to score quick. We need to just keep pushing like so that might have played a role in it, but ultimately it would have been nice to see them being Barcelona go through in a different fashion, but hey, I'll take it.
Yeah, at least you guys get to move on. You
Hey,
know.
Leo, I can't say I feel too bad. You know, you've won what like 8 in the last 13 years or something. So
Yeah, for sure. It's been 5 in the last 10, and then I think 3 of those were back to back to back with Zidane.
yeah, so no sexta
Yeah,
décima yet, but honestly, like you guys have dominated Champions League, so it's alright for someone else
they don't call
to
us
do
the
it.
Kings of Europe for nothing, you know.
I don't, but yeah, but I guess some
But
people
you know,
do.
deep down, you know, we are. It's okay. We understand.
Hey, I will happily admit that Champions League has been won by Real Madrid 15
Yeah.
times.
Uh, when do you think that like a team will ever? You think a team will ever get as like close to winning as many
Oh
as they have?
man,
Because like say
and
in 20 years, like 20 more years, how many more champions do you think Madrid will win?
zero.
Realistically,
I mean, okay, assuming the current stats that they've won at, like that rate is not like they can't keep it up, I would say realistically three
okay.
at least.
I would say 5 in 20 years. Like I feel like that'd be
So one every
fair.
four.
Yeah, like I think
That's just
that's
been a
pretty.
really good pace.
I
But
feel like
yeah,
that's like I don't know. So like I'm super bummed that Real Madrid lost and they got eliminated. But like I think Ancelotti put it pretty like really well, where he was like he's like, yeah, it sucks like that we got eliminated. Like obviously we don't want to like not qualify to the next phase, or like it's not like we didn't want to win a Champions League, but you're like like they're talking bad about a team that has won 30 trophies in 11 years,
Yeah.
including 5 Champions Leagues. You know, like what more could you ask for? Like if for every 11 years we're gonna win 5 Champions Leagues or 30 titles, like I think I'm gonna be just fine being a Real Madrid fan. Like I'm not. It's like I'm not gonna be distraught over being eliminated, even though it is our competition. Like, but you can't win them all. It is what it is. Arsenal, we can't take anything away from them. They played like extremely well. You know, not to say that Madrid didn't play. Like Madrid played horrible both legs. You know, but you can't take anything away from Arsenal and Mikel Arteta, who like prepared them very well to play Madrid.
Yeah, absolutely. Mr. Leo, my tip my hat to you. Very pragmatic, and honestly, you make a lot of sense, and it kind of shows how everything's kind of relative. You know, it's just Real Madrid has really high standards because they do everything in their power to win. So yeah, you do expect to win it every time. But yeah, I agree with you. All in all, it's been a pretty good time to be a Madrid fan. Uh, and just to circle back on your question on a team catching Real Madrid, the closest team right now is Milan, AC Milan,
I think
with
they
7 titles.
yeah,
Yeah, and then Bayern Munich and
6.
Liverpool each 6, and then Barcelona 5. So yeah, catching Real Madrid, realistically, it would probably take at the earliest maybe 40 years for a team to catch them.
Yeah,
Assuming it's one of the teams that like I think anywhere from like Barcelona, anyone who has 5, Barcelona, Liverpool, Bayern, and AC Milan could be the ones maybe to do it, unless it's like another big team that just goes crazy. I would love it for it to be Barca or Manchester United, but United's got 3, so 12 and 40 years probably not going to happen.
didn't
I
they
mean,
win them very like close to each other also? Like
not United.
yeah, because I know they won with Cristiano.
Yeah, that was just 2008, and before that was 99. That was
Oof.
the one with Beckham where
Oh,
they.
they won the was it triplete or something like that or
Yes, they did. In yeah, I think it was 2008.
yeah,
But the thing is, they went to the final 3 years in a row.
gotcha.
2008, 2009, 20. Oh no, I guess not 2010, but 2011 again. But yeah, to answer your question, yeah, it might take a while
Yeah, I
if
think
it
it'll be a
happens.
while, but
Yeah,
like we were saying, they can't win them all. Like I think anything now, like as far as like Madrid goes, like if you don't win a Champions League, that's failure. Like I think it's considered that way. I think you they should consider it that way, just because like of the high standards, right? Like I'm sure it's like a lot of stress on the players. Like hey, like we have to win Copa del Rey, La Liga, and Champions every single year. Like that's the expectation, especially just with what they've built, especially like within the last, I don't know, 10, 20 years. I mean, throughout their whole history, really.
yeah.
But like in the last 10 years, we've won 5, right? And and I think those are just the expectations. Like that's the standards. Like standard is like bare minimum. We're winning the Champions League each season or La Liga. You know, like anything besides that is failure.
Well, let's talk about what's still in place. So they have La Liga. They're trailing Barcelona by 4 points right now. Uh, in a way, so they could in a way have like their own future in their hands because they're playing Barcelona. I think it's May 11th.
Yeah, and it
The
sounds
second
like
Clásico.
that's when it's gonna be decided. Like if both teams like stay at this pace where they're winning every single week, and then I mean the best or what we could hope for as a Madrid fan is for Barca to drop points even if it's a tie or like a straight up loss. Like that's kind of like what we hope for. I can't. I don't know what the schedule looks like for Barca for the rest of the season, except for the El Clásico on May 11th, and then yeah,
Well, they've kind of just been like doing what each of them do. Like Barcelona almost just got 1 point, and they literally stoppage time last minute. They
yeah,
get it
they
the
got
fourth three
gifted
to go.
they got gifted a penalty. Yep.
Okay, okay. Anyways, they win 4-3. Real Madrid kind of similar against Athletic Club. They almost had a draw, and Federico Valverde just had like a
Golazo.
really nice goal. Yeah, so he kind of built them out on that one. It would have been pretty hard at that point if Barcelona went up by 2 points. That would have made it 6. So
Yeah, I think like you hit it right on the head where like this week if Barca won and then Madrid lost, like that's done. Because I think Atletico's pretty much out, dude. Like they're
yeah,
six
they lost
points.
to Las Palmas.
Yeah, like
I mean, good for them. It's Las Palmas like trying to like stay out of relegation. So
yeah,
go do your thing.
yeah. So like they lost and they have the highest paid manager, which is a bummer for
But
Atletico. But yeah, 6 points behind Madrid and then 10 points behind Barca. I don't think they're gonna catch up unless something catastrophic happens. Really,
yeah,
which we
I'm
don't
with
know.
you on
Like
that
I
one.
think somebody I heard like another podcast and they said it like they put it perfectly where they're like each match for at least for Barca and Madrid for the rest of the season, every La Liga match is a final. Like you have to win because you can't drop any points. You can't afford to. And
It's like playoffs basically each
yeah,
match. And they don't have
exactly.
like the playoff schedule, but yeah, it's kind of like a playoff. You have to win, which honestly keeps it exciting.
Yeah.
And they they will have like a playoff or a final like or an actual final this Saturday too, April 26th. We have Copa del Rey final. So question to you, Leo: La Liga or Copa del Rey? You can only have one. Which one do you want?
La Liga.
La Liga.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think La Liga is
same.
more important than Copa del Rey, but I think this year both. Like there's no you can't afford it. Like you already got eliminated from the Champions League. You're you're competing for La Liga against your ultimate enemy or nemesis, and same thing with La Copa del Rey. You know, like you're play like this. The final is literally both are gonna be decided in the clásicos. Like
Yeah,
one, you have two legs, right? Like Copa del Rey, I think it's two legs, and then the La Liga, like last match against, it's gonna be May 11th, I think, or one of the last
yeah,
matches is gonna actually. That's the last Clásico, but this could be decided at the end of May. You know?
yeah. I agree with it. I think I would also prefer La Liga, but also both, and in this case, hopefully the treble. But we will see. It'll be interesting though.
Yeah.
It should be a fun match. Um,
Yeah, I think Madrid need to take advantage of not playing Champions League matches. You know, like that. It's a couple less matches you're playing. You're
yeah,
getting more rest, which that actually cracks me up because at the beginning of the or like kind of middle of the season, Ancelotti was talking about like how they're getting less than 3 days of rest to play in between La Liga and Champions and Copa del Rey, and then I think they asked Hansi Flick like, "Oh, what do you think about what they're saying?" They're like, "Oh, we don't complain. Like we're not Real Madrid. Like this is Barcelona." And then just this weekend or before the match against Celta, Hansi Flick was complaining about not getting enough rest, and he's like, "Oh, why can't we play at 6:30 and not six and or why can't we play at 6:30 instead of 6 p.m. or whatever it was?" I'm like, "Dog, like this is so like hypocritical. Like you can't talk shit on what Ancelotti says 1 week and then a couple weeks like complain about the exact same thing." But
hey, it's different when it happens to you.
yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like once like you're like, "Oh crap, dude, like my my opponent's gonna get more rest than we are," like I guess. But yeah. So what did you think about Barca this weekend? Did you get to watch the game against Celta?
I did not. No, I didn't get to watch the game. I was happy we got kind of lucky at the end and got a goal, and we're able to keep pace, like kind of like we've been talking about, because a 1 point lead over. I guess it would have been. I guess it would have been one. So it would have been back to 3 points. So wait, would it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that would be a little bit scary because worst case scenario, I would love to go into into El Clásico on May 11th with the 4 point lead over instead of a 3 point lead.
Actually, it would have been 2.
Oh, okay. Then even more so.
Yeah, it would have been
just
2.
like having that little
2 point lead if you guys tied.
buffer between us. So.
Which would have made it even better, dude. It would have been more exciting. I mean, it's already exciting. Like, it's only 4 points. So, like, any points you drop, like we've been saying for the last 5 minutes, right? Like, it's every single match is a playoff. Like, you can't afford to give up anything.
Yeah, I think let's try to schedule so that we can watch the game together. It'll be like on a Sunday, the May 11th Clásico.
Yeah.
You, Amilcar, me, and I'm gonna need at least one other person that's a Barcelona fan because I'm not gonna watch it just me with you two.
I think you're the only Barcelona fan I know. Honestly, it's the only one I decide to accept into my life.
I appreciate it. That's how I feel about you and Amilcar. You know, you guys are great people, but hey, no one's perfect. So I take you guys fault and all. But I think we basically like already referenced the Real Madrid Arsenal game. It was a 2-1 loss. I don't think there's like a lot more to say. I think Saka had a really nice goal. Courtois just kind of showed why he's like pretty amazing.
The best goalkeeper. Yeah.
Yeah, like he did everything he could to like.
Yeah, he kept them in the
Real
game
Madrid
as long as he could for sure, dude.
Not even this game, but like also the game before as well.
This whole season, really, like
yeah.
Honestly, like he's kept them in so many games, like where he keeps like balls out, and he can only do so much, right? Like
yeah.
But Madrid looked weak. Like everyone played very bad, and I mean, I think the last maybe 20 minutes, Vinny really turned it on, and he was showing like a lot more heart than probably most of the Madrid players at that time. But like Bellingham busted his butt off, and then Mbappe went off injured. Like I think 20 minutes left of the match, so yeah, nothing much more to say, honestly. Like we got beat fair and square, and we got dominated. That's just it is what it is.
Yeah, and for me, Arsenal like had been a team that I had kind of just was playing in the tournament, and that's it. But like this last series has really made me think like, oh wow, Arsenal, like they might actually be. I mean, at this point, there's 4 teams, but now I'm definitely like really looking at Arsenal like a potential team to win it all for the first time, I believe. So that would be.
This is the furthest they've gone. I think the furthest Arsenal's gone is semifinals.
No, they lost a final actually to Barcelona 2006.
Oh no way!
Yeah,
that's funny.
Yeah, Henry was on that team, but so they've actually made it. But I think they went through Madrid to get to that point. But then
go ahead.
I was just gonna like wrap up our last 2 games. So we had Intern versus Bayern. It was a 2-2 draw, so Intern went through on aggregate. I think the extra goal that that Bayern gave up in game 1 really came back to haunt them. And yeah, Harry Kane got his goal. He played well. He will likely get a trophy this year for the first time, but it won't be the Champions League. But Bundesliga is looking pretty good for him. So thank you for playing.
Yeah, they have to. Yeah, they have to win the Bundesliga. They have no excuses now. But yeah, again, Inter played very well. You know, Bayern definitely played better this time around than the first leg, and Harry Kane was actually showing up, and once again, Lautaro showing why he's probably like top 3 strikers in the world right now. You know, again, making a push for that Ballon d'Oro, which I think he's got to be like at least top 2 in the world to like as far as nominated, like in my personal opinion. But Inter played very well. Yeah,
and making the Champions League final would definitely help his case.
100%.
I also do want to give a shout out to Benjamin Pavard, who scored like the header for Inter, former Bayern player, but I don't really like follow or see him play that often. But every time I do, I feel like he just comes up with like a really clutch goal. And the other one I'm thinking about was the goal of the tournament of the 2018 World Cup, where he hit a volley that like was like tres dedos, like going to the opposite side, like
Yeah,
far post against Argentina. I think it might have been the winner, or at least the like difference maker, because I think it was like a 4-3 game at the end.
yeah, he's definitely scored some clutch goals in his career, and yeah, he scored against his former team, and even Dyer had a great goal, which I don't think he was expecting to score that. I think he was like recentering the ball, and it just so happened to like go right over Sommer and score that second goal for Bayern.
Oh, okay, yeah. It was at the end, right?
Yep.
Or not at the end? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, but it was off a corner as well. But yeah, I mean, I think this is gonna be a good matchup, Barca Inter for the for that side of the phase, the next phase.
Yeah, I'm going in a little bit nervous, but yeah, we'll see what happens. And I guess we can wrap it up with Aston Villa PSG. PSG went through on aggregate 5-4, which I was surprised at how close it ended up being. But what were your takeaways? What did you think about this game?
Dude, it was, I don't know if you got to watch it, but crazy match. It was a very entertaining match to watch, like especially because you watch PSG and they scored the first goal like fairly early
Right
on,
away. Yeah.
and I think they ended up even scoring a second one, or it was 2-0. It was kind of like, all right, well, it's over. And then like right away, like, or like second half, like Aston Villa like scored 3 goals very, very fast. And yeah, they made it super exciting. They played it very well. It was yeah, I didn't think it was gonna be as close.
Yeah, totally agree. Like, basically, yeah, right away, PSG goes up first, like, 10 or so minutes. Then Nuno Mendes has a really good goal, who's been, like, scoring bangers recently. And at
Yes.
that point, it's, what, like, 5-1 aggregate?
Yeah.
But Aston Villa clawed themselves back into the game with pretty good goals. And I was excited to see them doing well. And one, because like they have Marcus Rashford, so a former United player. He didn't score this game, but it was just like kind of just cool seeing them doing well.
Yeah. I watch like it was unfortunate to not get to see Marcos Asensio like do a little bit better, like it like especially like he ever since he's gone over to Aston Villa, he's been playing lights out. Like him and Rashford have played really well. But um yeah, I don't think Aston Villa necessarily have much to be like upset about or embarrassed. Like they put up a really good fight, and they showed that they can definitely compete in this tournament.
Totally agree. And they're fighting to qualify to the Champions League by like via the Premier League this
Yep.
year, so they still have a chance at doing that. And I think even 5 years ago they were like in the relegation zone. So talk about a team that's really turned it
Yeah.
around. So yeah, I
Totally
agree
agree.
with you. Not much to be upset about.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Both for PSG, both left backs or full backs scored, Hakimi and Nuno Mendes, which is pretty wild. Like Dembele didn't score, Barcola didn't score. Like
Yeah,
fullbacks
that,
coming to the rescue once again.
yeah. I think shows a team that can beat you in many different ways.
So, did you want to talk about the semifinals? Like, quick prediction.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's do it. Let's get it. All right. So, as our guest, please, Mr. Leo, what are your thoughts? We have Arsenal versus PSG. Arsenal's playing home the first game, and then PSG's playing away. I guess or
Let's see.
PSG's
Did
home
you
the
want to
second
do
game.
like first leg, second leg, or just like who moves on?
Just give it to me straight. Who's moving on?
PSG is moving on,
Okay.
and Inter.
Okay. Are you just
And
saying
no,
that
no, I
just
am
to
not.
spite me?
So no, no, I am not. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not just saying that. I think Inter are a very good team. So like they're very well like defensively, which I think they can make a good stop against Barca. Like especially like the system they play is kind of like it's not something they like many teams use at all. Like they play like a 3-5-2, and like those wingers, or I guess fullbacks, really like they attack a lot and they defend a lot too. So like um, I think Barca's gonna definitely like struggle like they did like the second leg against Dortmund. I think if Inter play like a very similar match, I think they'll move on. I'm not just saying that. I think it's gonna be a very close match. Like I don't like I could see it being high scoring, but just really close throughout the whole thing. PSG and Arsenal. PSG, in my opinion, is gonna move on, and I think it's gonna be very one sided for PSG.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
really?
I just think that like again, PSG they're coming very like they're a very confident team. Like they've already won the French league, um, and we'll see. But I just think that they're not gonna be expecting, or I don't know. I haven't seen them. I haven't seen Arsenal play against like similar teams like PSG, so I don't know if how well they play against like quicker teams, more I don't know, more dynamic. Like Madrid was not dynamic at all. Like they were very like I guess you could call it linear. Like it was just one path. Give the ball to Vinny or Mbappe and hope for the best.
Yeah, I like the use of dynamic there because yeah, I think it's a pretty good description of PSG. We just talked about how Hakimi and Nuno Mendes are both scoring, so they have a lot of pieces. So I actually agree with a lot of your analysis. I think I would, being from San Diego, we haven't won a World Series. We haven't really won a championship before. So I like to root for teams that have never won it before, which this is both of them, Arsenal and PSG. Uh, it's been really nice seeing. I feel like I have more Arsenal fan or friends that are Arsenal fans. So for them, I would be happy to see Arsenal go through. But I also have PSG friends. But I agree. I think PSG is just really, really good. They played Liverpool, who, even though they're leading the Premier League right now, and they have not been the most dominant team as of late, they have been overall the best team throughout the season. And I think Arsenal is going to struggle playing with PSG for the reasons you mentioned. And with Barcelona Inter, I think Barcelona will go through. Part of it might just be more like my fandom than like logic, but you made really good points. I think Barcelona's used to having like a higher powered offense per se, and I think Inter is going to frustrate them a lot. And if they can't get especially like the first game, if it's like a 0-0 or like a 1-0, um, yeah, I could see them getting slightly frustrated, especially like with a lot of the youth that they have on their team. It's a young team, so yeah, I could see that being a problem. You mentioned the formation too, and Barcelona plays like, at least in the Champions League, they play the same formation that Bayern played against Inter.
Yeah.
So it, Inter's a team well positioned to frustrate Barcelona, but I'm still gonna say I'll stay with Barcelona anyways. So I've kind of been thinking since earlier on. I think the end of round of 16, I thought Barcelona and PSG were like the best looking teams. So I'm gonna stick to that, and I think it'll be Barcelona PSG.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I'd be shocked if you didn't pick. I'd be disappointed, even though I'm not obviously not a Barca fan. But if you had picked Inter, yeah, I'd be
No, wait, no,
disappointed.
no. I wasn't going to, but you made good points, so I had to address that. Um, Before we get to our pitch of the week, just super quickly, I just want to give a quick shout out. Even though we haven't really talked about the Europa League, I just want to shout out Manchester United because they just had such a good game against Lyon. I think they scored 9 goals total. It was 5-4. Basically, they were up, I think 2-0. Then they were down 4-2. And
Yeah.
in 7 minutes scored 3 goals to win
Super
5-4.
wild match, dude.
It was like insane. such a great game. And anything outside of Europa League, and even sometimes in Europa League, Manchester United's been absolutely dog poop the whole season.
Yeah.
They lost the Premier League game before Europa League, then win this game, and then go ahead and lose again this weekend. So, but hey, I'll take it. If it'll be like kind of like a premier example of mediocrity, like just not winning or just doing just enough to make it to the Champions League if they end up winning the Europa League. So
Where does this put them? Are they going to semifinals?
yeah, semifinals as well. They are playing. I know Tottenham's through on the other end. Oh, they actually have a pretty tough game. They're playing. I think Atletico de Bilbao.
Oh,
So
that's
yeah,
right.
so it's gonna be
You're right.
pretty tough. And then Tottenham got a Norwegian team. I don't know their name, but they're the first Norwegian team to make it this far in the Europa League.
Boro Glimp.
Yeah,
I'm probably saying that completely wrong, but
I think they're like yellow uniform. But yeah, I think Atletico Bilbao and United, it's kind of like an early final, and whoever can make it through there, I think would probably be favorites to win it.
yeah, most likely. Even though, I mean, Tottenham is probably a good team.
Yeah,
Overall,
very
they're a
good
decent team. So
yeah,
we'll see. I think I'll start paying attention to the Europa League now. Just watch the final part of it. I did see the goals for Man U versus Lyon, which it was, dude, such a gnarly match.
Yeah, it was a really nice match. Also, shout out to Lyon. I like their uniform. I thought it was clean. It reminded me of like the 2006, like the France jersey from the 2006 World Cup. But anyways, moving on. Thanks for humoring me. So, pitch of the week, Leo. What is your pitch this week?
My pitch of the week is that Cruz Azul is the best Mexican team of the year, officially and statistically. Even though they're second place at the end of this season, but statistically they had the most points through both halves of the season, the Apertura and the Clausura.
Okay.
So I'll take that. And they're actually not even second place. They ended up being third. But, moving on to the next phase and to La Liga.
Okay. Well, congratulations, Cruz Azul. I will say I've always been a fan of their uniforms. I think they have pretty nice uniforms. Not particularly right now. It's like okay. But they had, I think, in like the 2006, 2007... when they had Umbro, I think they even won like best uniform in the world. Or I heard there was some sort of publication that said it was like the like
I know exactly
not pretty,
which one you're
but
talking
most
about.
Beautiful like uniform kit.
That's the one
very,
where
very
Chelito
nice.
played with, I think. Chelito Delgado.
Possibly.
I don't remember who he was.
I think it might have been. Let me see, 2007, 2008. I'm like trying to pull up. So it's not 2007. It might have been like the 2006. But the Umbro one was really nice. I really like this. So I like when teams don't have like the normal like Nike, Adidas, even though they make nice kits.
My favorite has always been the Fila from 2001. Okay. That one's super sick. I don't know if you could see it, but
oh, that is cool. It's kind of got like a Jorge Campos vibe to it, like it's just like
that era for sure.
Yeah. Fun fact, for the longest time I thought Fila was called Phil's. I thought the A was an S. It's probably been a few years now, but I was in my 20s when I realized and found out it was actually Fila.
That's too funny.
Well, I have my pitch of the week, not as maybe like positive, but it was an Apple TV broadcast for the San Diego FC game. So the play where Andres Reyes got the red card, or double yellow, they were like not broadcasting the game. They were like showing like the Charlotte FC bench, and then like it switched to like the play like right when it was happening, so you couldn't see like the build up to it. So
that's so strange.
So it's like it was just kind of, I guess,
get together, Apple TV.
Yeah. And then I had another one, but I can't remember right now. So I guess I'll have to save it for next week when I remember.
I have another one. It's soccer related. Chivas are not going on to La Liga. Just throwing that out there.
Yeah, and
are you a Chivas fan? But
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Gerardo Espinosa is also not gonna be back with Chivas. He was fired for not making La Liguilla.
Oof. Well,
So
rightfully so. They didn't have a great season,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. Can't win
But
them all, right?
yeah.
That's what we were saying.
Well, you guys haven't won anything in a long time, or really like done much, unfortunately, you know, because
we a few.
they are a historic team.
Yeah, we won the La Liga. Maybe it's been like 5 years now, 6 years. It's not maybe like five, but yeah. But out of all the teams that didn't make La Liga or Liguilla, which most of them do, we were the first one not to. So we were almost there. We actually had the same. We had the same amount of points as Pumas, but
Oh,
they went through. I think on maybe goal differential or something. Yeah, I think no. So I think we had the same goal differential, but they had more goals in
yep,
favor.
you're
So
exactly right. Yeah, they scored more goals. Which I
so
mean, yeah, I don't.
they were
I think it's a weird
margin.
format now, but
We were marginally not good
slightly
enough.
worse. Yeah,
But you know what? It's better because sometimes like this kind of bills you out, like, and you keep doing something that's not working because you get like a quote unquote result. So
yeah,
hopefully this can inspire some change.
yeah. I guess bummer. Like I don't know how much Mexican League you've watched like throughout your life, but kind of a bummer seeing Santos last place. They were absolutely trash this year. But I don't know. It's just been one of those teams that I've always kind of liked, and I don't know why. So I just like some of their players back in the day. So like El Pony Ruiz, I don't know if you know who that is, or
No, oh, but
Achita Ludueña, like they're
Oribe Peralta I think played for Santos too,
Uribe,
right? Yeah.
Borghetti. I think Borghetti played for
Oh, okay.
Santos, but
Yeah, no, I definitely have some teams that like I just kind of like I like Monarcas. I just thought it was like
yeah.
cool like name, cool logo.
And it's a bummer
Uh,
that they're just stuck in the second division now, like because there's no ascenso anymore. There,
yeah,
there's no relegation. There's no,
I thought they were gonna bring it back. It was like we'll have to like maybe look into it more,
yeah,
but I thought it was gonna be like 4 or 5 years that they paused it during COVID, and then it was supposed to come back.
yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, but obviously I like Chivas. I have a, even though they're like rivals from like Guadalajara as well, but I have a sweet spot for Atlas or Atlas, sorry. Um, a really good like family friend and my brother's godfather is a huge Atlas fan, so I
Yeah,
have a sweet spot for them.
I have a sweet spot for
Uh,
them for Rafa Marquez and Andres Guardado.
yeah,
They're like,
exactly.
like,
Even Leon too, for that reason, because Rafa Marquez he like went there and like won like two titles back to back,
that's
like
right.
kind of showed he still had it
Yeah,
to the point that he did well there, and then went back to Italy to play, like badass. Pachuca too, when they won la Copa Sudamericana, I was like,
yeah. Oh, when they were last place, was that's the recent one, right?
no, this was like 2000, like probably like 2007, 2008. They were really good. They won La Liga, and then they won la Copa Sudamericana, which was like a huge feat for like a Mexican team.
They played really well against like they were like last place last season, and then they went and played the champions of the Brazilian league, which I can't remember. I think it was Atletico Mineiro or something like that. And they like whooped them. I'm like,
Oh,
damn, that's
really?
so wild. Yeah,
Oh,
I love watching the Mexican league. It's just very nostalgic to like my
you know,
childhood.
okay. I think we need same for me, and I haven't unfortunately watched it as much in recent years. But okay, we need to do an episode like just like Liga MX nostalgia, and like just we'll just sit around and talk about random
Yeah, I'm
things
so
we
down.
remember.
We'll get a
Okay,
milker in here so he can get his little history lesson.
all right, it's happening. I guess with that, we will announce that episode once we plan it. Talking about future plans. Next game for San Diego C, they're going to play Real Salt Lake at home, which we mentioned. We'll be recapping that game. We're also going to tee up the Champions League semifinals. We're thinking Amilcar will probably come back. TBD if he'll be a starter or not. So we have to earn his spot. But we will definitely have Mr. Leo back. If not next episode, at some point in the future. Leo, any parting words?
No, just thanks for having me. It's definitely different being on this side. Like listening to you in the milk car is like hilarious and very entertaining. So like I'm trying to like live up to that. Just trying to fill in the shoes over here.
Oh, I'm sure they're fitting you pretty tight right now because you've killed it, Leo.
Thanks for having me. It's been super fun. So anytime you want to have me back, let me know.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, you will be back, Leo. And with that, thank you to everyone for tuning in. We really appreciate it, and we will see you next time.